a woman falls from a subway platform, and bystanders wave frantically to try to stop the oncoming train.
I was just too scared. You don't want to take anybody's life.
It's November 6th, 2009. Bill Lynch waits for the train at Boston's North Station after leaving his job as an usher for the Boston Celtics.
It was about 10:30 in the evening, and we were coming home from the Celtics game. We were down waiting for the train to come in.
While waiting, Bill notices 26-year-old Sophia Hart-Deegan, who's smoking a cigarette near the end of the platform.
It's funny, both of those venues that I work at have a no-smoking policy. And I was almost going to go over there and tell her there's no smoking in the MBTA too. But I stopped and thought better of it.
The train begins pulling into the station. Sophia moves dangerously close to the edge of the platform and appears to try to put out her cigarette. Bill is watching her closely.
She wavered back and forth and ended up going into the tracks, and at which time I went over to her and I tried to yell to her to get up, but she didn't move. I really wasn't sure whether she was dead or alive.
With the train quickly approaching, Bill knows he needs to act fast.
I looked back and I saw people trying to wave the train down, so I said, I better do that. That's the only thing left to do at this point. I just got to the corner of the tunnel and just waved my hands back and forth and pointing at the woman on the train tracks so she'd get some idea of why we were doing it. I don't think she would have been looking for anybody in the middle of the tracks.
Charisse Lewis is driving the train that night when she sees Bill waving at her.
As I'm coming in, I notice, there's a lot of people on the platform, but there's particularly this one guy that's like really frantically waving, and he was really on the edge of the platform. And I'm like, okay, you really need to move or you're gonna fall in. So I'm slowing down because my concentration is on him.
But when Charisse looks down into the pit where Bill is pointing, she notices a shadowy moving figure.
I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to be there. That's a little bit too big. And I notice there's someone in there, and then, automatic reflexes like, okay, put the train in emergency brake and just stop. The train, you don't have that automatic stop, so it was still moving, and it was just like, stop the train and pray for the best. And as we're coming up, I can see the train go over her, and that just scared me even more because I'm like, oh God, she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it.
I wanted to be Superman and just try to hold the thing back because I could see it starting to go over.
The train finally comes screeching to a stop, and Charisse is terrified by what she might see when she looks down at the tracks.
I don't want to be responsible for taking anyone's life. That's like the worst feeling. That's somebody's child. It could have been somebody's mother. I was shocked. I was nervous. It was a little bit of everything. The adrenaline was just way too high.
Fortunately, the train stops before it causes any damage to Sophia. The front of the train ends up slightly over her head.
I was very relieved, and thank God that she was able to stop. And it was exhilarating to know that she was going to live.
I realized that she wasn't dead or hurt when she crawled out from under the train herself. And she had like this big Kool-Aid smile on her face. And it was just like, okay, I'm all right. And I'm just like, are you serious? Really? Okay, let's get out the pit now. Come on, let's go.
Sophia scrambles to her feet, falls, and is finally helped off the tracks by shocked bystanders.
But she seemed so calm. I don't know if I didn't really know if she knew what was really happening at some point,
Sophia did not respond to our request for an interview. Fortunately, she escapes the incident with only a few scratches.
It wouldn't have been a good outcome if the train would have went any further, because there's not a lot of space between the actual equipment and the ground. It wouldn't have been pretty.
So they said that your actions were heroic.
For their quick thinking, Charisse and one of her co-workers receive a host of awards, including one from the Massachusetts governor.
I didn't think of it as me being a hero at all. It was just me doing my job like any other T employee. It was just a reflex of, stay calm and just, stop your train. That's all I could do.
Bill is also honored by the two beloved teams he ushers for, the Red Sox and the Celtics.
They had me stand where I was ushering and had 16,000 people clapping, which is exciting as it can be.
And he's glad he could do his part to help.
I describe it as maybe once in a lifetime thing. I was just happy that I was in the right place at the right time, and I hope I never see it happen again.